407 years ago, there lived a lovely maiden in the city, better known as the Triple D. Her name was, is, and will forever be April Nicole. And welcome to this live session where you get caught up on what I have been doing and what I have coming up. I am so happy to be here right now because if you know me, you know that I love to talk. And if you really know me, y'all know I be spitting that wisdom. Most people, they don't like to admit that because I'm a Virgo, but we're not going to go there yet. We're not going to go there yet. And I'm so excited. And this is something that I've been working on for a while. But the place that you feel the most authentic, the place that can never be denied is home. And I had to bring it back home to where it all started. THA After Party Studios.
Welcome back, April.
Thank you, boss lady.
Girl, where the hell have you been?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Okay.
I've been around the world and Montana, I don't, if we're going to say where have I been, I have been, I would say in a 360. I feel like it's 360 right now, 360 degrees.
Girl, I thought you was going to say you was in a 360 deal, and that's why we ain't seen you.
I mean, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. It's been 360. I started off running my mouth, you listening to me starting here, and that really just really set my path in motion. And I have been a little bit of everywhere, Montana. People have seen me with a lot of people, pictured with a lot of people, pictured a lot of places. I've tried a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Never tried crack, but make sure we put that out there.
That's good.
Yeah, now, Whitney said crack is whack, and we gonna believe her. Some things we don't need to do to believe, but I'm excited about this interaction in this live session that we're doing right now.
The last thing I remember about you, April, was that you was all churched out. Okay.
And nowhere to run.
So
I ran to him. That was the most successful show that I had on the after party. And kudos to you for replaying that show on Sundays. Oh my goodness. I remember when I did that show, you ran from the office, ran in this room like, oh my God, what you're saying, is this really true? I was crying. Listen, I was all churched out.
For the people who, are new to April Nicole, and even just hearing the saying all churched out, give them a little playback. Like, what was that about?
Okay, so this was 2013. Actually, maybe 2012. Not sure right now. Maybe it was 2012. Actually, I recorded that show 9/11/2012. But people that knew me, the identity that I held at that time was like Mahalia Jackson. Like Mahalia Jackson, but she liked to go to the bar and get loose sometimes. But Mahalia Jackson. So I was a part of a church for 11 years, a mega church here in Dallas. I left that church, went to another church, and I was going through a really rough time. 2011 and 2025 mirrored each other. But anyway, girl, and that was the last, my water was off and my lights was off and I'm crying and ain't nobody gave me no tissue or nothing. I said, you know what? I'm going to step back. Now, in reality, I didn't leave the church. I left that church. I didn't leave the church. But I think it was the last time I was really active in a church. It's probably like 2018. I gave it a few more years. But the glass ceiling had already been hit, and I I just knew that there was something that I needed to search for on my own. And that show, I went down through there. I took y'all through there. I told you a lot about my personal life. I didn't really, go on a smear campaign about the church that I attended and all of the things that had happened at that time where I felt hurt. But it wasn't it. And even when I went to the next church after that, I remember telling my pastor, this is my last church. When I started.
Really? So are you still in church?
No.
Okay, so you are definitely all churched out.
and good.
Okay.
And good.
Okay.
Nothing wrong. Listen, no, I'm not one.
Because you don't have to be in church to, have a relationship anyway.
I'm not for. Listen, if you go, hallelujah, ain't nothing wrong with it. Just don't come upside my head when I say I don't. That's all I respect. I'm very different. You know this by now, Montana. I'm very different, very weird.
Now, you're not weird, girl.
A little different. But yeah, that was a big time. And my show back then was called Spice of Life, Grown Woman Talk, and it was Grown Woman Talk. We would talk about men. Remember, I had the Aroma series, and I would talk about Jada. She goes for this, she goes for that. Just getting my feet wet in the industry, and because the radio station was the only one of its kind at that time, and we were able to express ourselves in a way that I had never been able to express myself before. So it was very liberating.
So you found your voice during that time?
Absolutely.
So what is different now? You're back with Truth Be Told, so it's not Spice of Life anymore. Now you're truth telling. So what is tell me about that.
So my new podcast will be Truth Be Told with April Nicole, where soul meets story. And I don't want people to take that in a mushy manner. We are going for truth because, I'm really a conspiracy theorist, but I really feel like in a world full of, suckers, I don't want no more lollipops. And I don't want to give anybody any lollipops. I want truth. I feel like I have been exposed to so much over these years since I was on the mic before. Mm-hmm. And I want to get down to the meat and potatoes. I want to give people guests that they know and love, that they may have not seen in a certain light. I want to pull that story out of them. I want to pull that truth out of them. And I want to liberate people. I also want to give them a safe space to be liberated, because there's also more than one truth. Your truth is not the only truth. Your truth is your truth. But yeah, I definitely want to liberate my audience. I definitely want to give a safe space for my guests. We will have segments such as The Truth About Crime, because we're going to talk about some of these crimes.
Okay.
Everybody knows I'm a crime show junkie, but I feel like also I've had an interesting last 10, 15 years, however long it's been. I've been around the world, and I've learned some things.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway that you've learned? What's the biggest lesson?
Nothing is as it appears. Do not believe what you see.
Are you saying that because you have a background in
public relations?
Absolutely,
baby. That's like being a lawyer. It is essentially, because the NDAs are endless. Sometimes you clean up hotel rooms like they crime scenes, honestly, and you keep secrets, and secrets. It's heavy. It's way heavier than people even. And when you are an individual that people trust, and I'm just a person that people trust, I've seen a lot of things. I'll never divulge that information because I don't play that. because we just don't. That's just not who I am. But I knew when to back up out of it.
What's the craziest thing you've seen as a publicist that you had to back up out of without divulging any, names? Protect the innocent. You know why you're thinking about that? You know what I heard? And I think I even asked you about this. I heard, and I'm sure every city has one, but I heard there is a casting couch in Dallas.
Of course it is. Let me. I think the craziest thing that I have experienced is probably, being on a spiritual retreat with individuals that I had to sign NDAs for. And yeah.
And just for the people who don't know what a casting couch is, it is a euphemism for the illicit practice where industry professionals such as producers, directors, etc., solicit sexual favors from actors or others in exchange for employment.
Absolutely. And it's not just in that. Any part of entertainment in the industry, all facets, it does not matter. It occurs. It even occurs. It probably occurs. Well, I know it occurs even with publicists and stuff, but I just.
Well, we don't have a casting couch here at the after party. I just want to make that known.
And she don't play that. Me and she, and we don't do that. But
you've seen that?
Absolutely. I've seen, man, and I know this is probably, I don't know if anybody watches The Game. You remember the TV show The Game?
Yeah.
Remember the episode, it was in the second season, and it was Tasha. They all ended up at the same hotel, and that's when Tasha ended up doing, she was like, she was messing with Rick Fox. That was her first time messing with Rick Fox. They had Tasha there as an individual to go scout out girls and hook up with, football players. And I remember she went to this one girl and was like, hey, he don't want you to do nothing. He just wants you to walk around naked in some heels. And he, whatever. She felt bad about it, tried to go to the room and get her back.
Have you ever been put in a position like that? Oh, okay.
But it's a running joke where they don't take me to strip clubs.
Okay.
Because I'm going to talk that girl down off that ledge. Between me getting her there and there, she's not going. I'm a mother, and when it comes to girls and females and women, I'm just very, I don't play that. It's been plenty of times, but then they stop asking me because they see I'm not going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. They always called me. I've been called mean a lot. I remember one time we were on the back, Webby was like, why you so mean? I'm at work. Catch me later, maybe I'm not as mean. But even I'm a woman in a majority male dominated field. I'm always gonna be professional. So yeah, I could tell stories, but yeah, that retreat did it, and yeah, that was.
Okay, so Jonathan Shaw.
Hey.
Okay, Jonathan said, "Hey, April." Also, wait, Antoine Wiley said, "Hey, April" as well. That's my uncle. Jonathan Shaw said, "You showed him the real meaning of what a publicist is not." What is that about?
So, I almost want to cry. So let me tell you, I met him during the premiere of Triple D Revenge. It was actually at the 11/11 filming that we had in 2021. So it was the 1 year. No, 2020. Yeah, because he died 2020. So it was actually 1 year, and we did a special filming. And I met him. So he was there, and he had his camera, and I met his fiance, wife. I don't know if they married in the year now, but she's a great, wonderful person. So she was doing media, and anyway, she was on the media list. She came, and I had, interacted with her a few times, and he came, and he did, he had us on the red carpet, me and my cousin, and was asking us questions and stuff. And he was just very, like, he sent me the footage of it, and it was something I was able to use even for my own business later on. And we stayed connected. And I always, anytime I meet good people, I try to open as many doors as I can for them, or as many opportunities. I try to put people and make them connected. I just treat people like I want to be treated. I'm not a bitch, when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I'm not trying to throw my weight around for access to people. These are just people. They're just people, and most of them are characters. Let me y'all know one thing I do want to go ahead and add. We will have truth serum on the Truth Be Told podcast. I have it turned around because this is not a sponsorship today, but we will have a sponsorship every week, and it will be truth serum for my guests. Not always alcoholic. Some be mocktails, depending on what they like. But we're going to drink truth serum because we're going to make sure that everything we say is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And anybody, what I really want is, I say anybody that knows me, but I'm not seeking to have an audience of individuals that I know. And that's where people mess up. They think that people they know are supposed to support them. Your audience is not, once again, your audience is not the people you know. Get that out of your head. You were not put here with a purpose in mind for your higher power to just put you around your homegirls and your homeboys and people that run into you for them to support you. You are here to change the world. You are here to shake the table. Shout out to K. Michelle, gonna be on the Real Housewives lately.
I so agree with that. And I remember one of the things I used to always tell our podcasters here is that, because people are able to watch you all around the world. Mm-hmm. Like, stop waiting for Dallas people to support you. Like, Jesus had to get out of his backyard. Okay. You got to get out of your backyard.
He said you will not, you not getting no love in your hometown. You'll get here's the thing. It's a familiarity thing. When people are familiar with you in any way, even if they feel like, oh yeah, I know him, I went to high school with him. Oh yeah, I know that, it's just something about it. I'm very grateful that I've been able to, travel and do what I do and meet people that are outside of, and even, Montana, you know how it is. We're not really, even when I was here before, we did things, the things that we did in Dallas were things that honestly other people weren't doing. And then they started doing. Because there were just no internet radio stations, and that's what it was. I need to be clear about it. It was a radio station. We want to, now it's a podcast studio because the language and that has evolved. But we had shows going. We had an A side, we had a B side. If y'all go back to, I will never forget, October of 2012, when we did the I was supposed to say Making the Band, girl, what was it? Battle of the Bands. Mm-hmm. We had the radio station saying, dang, it's a lot of y'all really got the we stayed up the night before putting stuff together, all of that. Young Nation was out there. Ashay the Beat King, he was out there. The mayor, I'm talking about turned up. I'm talking about the radio stations was like, dang, we gonna have to come up with it next time. And you are. We were, the after party was groundbreaking. I learned so much being here. Every show was different. There was no show that was the same. None. Even all of the females. all of us that were females, it was a neo vibe show. There was a show that was centered around HIV and AIDS awareness, 2 shows, and then we would have anybody coming through the studio. So I was able to use this platform. This platform opened up all of the opportunities I had. I had an individual on a show. We went to Houston. Me, you, and Mecca. We went to Houston. Girl, can't remember the whole trip, but we had met somebody. And then when we came back, it was an event. I don't know why y'all didn't go, but I went. I went by myself. And when I went, I met this man. His name is Terry McGill. Shout out to Terry McGill. I met Terry McGill, and that Saturday I had him on the show. That Tuesday, had him on the show. Real good vibe. He ended up being an ex-record executive, real instrumental in, building a lot of careers, a lot of artist development. And he was like, you got that thing. Why don't you come do this and do that? And that was just one of the things, and it just went on from there. And then I started my career I was blogging, and then I went into public relations. And that's where a lot of people know me for, being the plug, and I was managing media, and it's been a great run. And I'm not saying some of that won't happen, but times are changing. Public relations has changed a lot. There's so many things that are available to us now, AI and Canva, and the list goes on and on. Shouts out to Chad G, aka Chat GPT. But things are changing, and when things change, you have to change along with them. But I've been wanting to, get back on the mic for a while, and I'm just grateful that this platform is still here for me to do so.
So why now? Because it has been a minute since you've been gone. Like, why make that decision to, come back and get in front of the mic? Because, we both know that microphone is powerful, baby.
I ain't never scared. Let's be clear. I am from Arlington Park, AP, Texas. Let's be clear. But no, it's time. I'm big on timing, and I'm big on seasons. And this is something that had been, I have been having this conversation back and forth for at least over a year, or maybe more.
You have.
And
you recently told me, I don't mean to cut you off, and you recently told me, like, this is all you think about is truth be told and getting back to it. So why? Like, what's pulling you to it? Like, what's happening in your mind inside that's saying, I gotta get back to this? Like, why? What do you feel like missing?
I see liberation.
Okay.
I see liberation. I see freedom. I see yokes being broken. I see me being able to use my gift in a way that supports individuals. And I'm entertaining as hell too. But had to throw that in there. But I really honestly see freedom and liberation. Those are the words I want to use, because of course I love women, meaning I'm a woman. I love men. Now let's get that straight. Anyway, I ain't going there.
You're a girl's girl.
Mm-hmm. And then I also feel like, shouts out to Malcolm X. Can't nobody tell me we are not related, or we in a past life did not connect, because I have always loved Malcolm X since I was like young. But anyway, y'all already know the most unprotected, y'all know the rest, is the black woman. And especially now, I see a lot of so many single black women, so many want to be IND. I'm really mad I ever sang the song, because I don't want to be INDEPE. I don't. Swipe your card. I've been forced to do that, and anyway, that's for another podcast, another show. But I see women that, some of the younger women even, they need guidance, and TT gonna bring it to them. and men. I want to bring some of the people that I've crossed paths with, people that may be celebrities in their eyes. I want to bring them close and let people get a behind the scenes look. I want to talk to them about the hard things, because that's what's big to me. I want to talk about the hard shit. Like, let's get into it. Forget that little baby stuff. Let's get into the real. Okay, so yes, you're an award-winning producer. Did you love your black mama? Because I don't see you dating anything but white women.
That is, I'm sorry, but I want to ask that to a lot of men. There are a lot of men who really sit in, have these spaces where they are always trying to critique a woman. And I am wondering, is that because they mamas wasn't shit? And so, like, what is it about?
I saw a clip today of Brother Umar, and he said these men, when they ask what was it him? Yeah, when they ask questions, instead of becoming feminine, they need to go into their masculine and support, but they are so busy going into their feminine energy and becoming a woman, most times anybody that is critiquing and looking to find fault, they're not happy with themselves. If you're in a relationship with a man or a friendship and they have low self-esteem, they're going to project that, and a lot of black men, and I play devil's advocate when it comes to this, because I love my black men, and I feel like black men don't really have, I know, black men don't have the same, okay, we gonna Sunday fun day. We gonna sit in the car and talk. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna call you on the phone. We gonna sit on the phone 2 or 3 hours. We gonna figure something out. I'm gonna call you if my child is doing this. I'm gonna call you if I feel like this or that. Men have friends, but they don't have support. Safe spaces, and it's just never been offered to them.
Okay.
It is out there, but how many homeboys are getting together doing vision parties? Because if they do, guess what we're gonna say?
That's gay. Okay.
We don't have that. So you have a bunch of men that want to jump on the mic and talk about relationships. You want to talk about something that'll irk me? That's what irks me.
Men that want to talk about relationships
and ain't
been in a relationship in 10 years, 15 years.
Not had a successful one.
A successful one, right? Everybody,
and they know, and they're not being honest with themselves, and they know they not shit.
Yes.
And listen, I'm not a man basher, baby. I won't listen. I'm finna be married. I promise you. Soon. I'm be with a boo. I'm be booed up, my man. I'm not.
Speaking of which, and I don't hold that thought, but we just, we're in a group chat.
Yes.
And Nikki Nicole just got engaged today.
What? Engaged? Now wait a minute. The group chat. Wait.
She just your phone. You recorded, but she just put it in the group chat that it's a fiance now. And she said he got my entire family here and proposed.
Oh my God! Girl, why would you tell me that on this live?
I'm sorry.
I'm so happy for her. Oh my God, y'all don't understand the group chat, and it's a small. It's just a few, but baby, I am so happy for her.
You so funny, April.
All the feels, girl. Because listen, we all around the same age. You have raised your kids. You're a grandmother. You've been putting your feet to the ground, working and doing all. Somebody should. Hey, yeah. See, I done got crunk.
You done got crunk.
I'm very excited for her.
I am too.
She deserves it.
Yes.
She definitely deserves it. But I swear, baby, that man said he found him something. That man said, ain't nobody finna get this one. That's what I'm talking about. Because I know the group chat was just what? We just learned. I'm happy. I hope I'm following up.
Yes.
And I'm the last single one in the group chat, child. I'm coming.
You coming?
Because I'm not playing no games. We it's a strict program. He's strict.
I'm curious in like the new single female and this strict program that y'all be running. You know, do y'all think that? I mean, what do you think? Because you've been single for a little bit. I'm like, is this the new woman? Like, she's single, she independent. I know you didn't like that word independent, but
I mean, but
it is.
Listen, first of all, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all may not like me after this. Most of y'all be full of shit. I don't believe y'all have a strict program.
You don't think that the women have a strict program? Like, what? Tell me, but let's talk about that. Like, why do you say it's all a facade? It sound good.
Most of them need healing. Most of them have not sat with themselves and figured out. They like to project and say, he was such a horrible man. But okay, why are you doing all of that? He was a horrible man the whole time. So what are you going to do about you? Because you have to go with somebody else, and you want somebody else to choose you. So what are you doing in your downtime? Forget just your downtime. Even when you get with somebody, like, what are you doing to better yourself? And so that's where I play devil's advocate. I am a single woman. I don't know all the things or whatever, but I do not believe in. I really cringe a lot of times at some of these parties they be having, and I be like, girl, I don't want to get with a bunch of y'all and bash no damn men. Like, this is not what I came here for. I'm a lover girl, and I also am a real girl. Here's a perfect example. Okay, recently, an ex of mine went through something very tragic. I decided that because of the gravity of the situation that I wanted to really support them, because over the years since we've been broke up, there's been a few things, but he supported, my kids, and he's always, whatever, in spite of us. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try to support you. And in me trying to support him through this tragedy, literally, I was waiting on that old Ike to show up. Bitch, I can't. I tried. You know what I mean? And really, I could have said, I did beat myself up for a minute. I was like, why did you even try? Like, why? Like, you know how he is. But, of course, your heartstrings, you know what I mean? And like I said, my kids, we've been broke up a very long time, and he reaches out, he makes sure the kids are good and all of that. I tried to help this fool, and he came to me with some foolery. And you know what? I beat myself up about it, and I was like conflicted, and I was still gonna kind of go forward. And baby, you better listen to some of these kids you got. Bree said, "Mama, go to bed." She didn't tell me to go to bed, but like
basically go to bed.
Mm-mm. And yeah, I remember like reflecting over that. Could I have, not even tried to support or put myself in a situation to feel that hurt that he, with the situation? But no, I was trying to do a good deed. It just reminded me of why we're not together moving forward. Mm-hmm. Took it to the chin. But some people will say, why did you even? But that's who I am. I'm not going to sell out, but I'm also not going to act like. So when we talk about the strict program, I do run a strict program, but I also am a human. So there's a human side to me, but I absolutely have boundaries. And once those boundaries are crossed, I'm not getting ready to, go all out, but.
So you saying you a lover girl, so that means you're not that girl to give up on love. Like, you're not going to be, no matter, like you said, the old Ike showed up, that's with him. But the new, you're not taking that baggage into a new relationship. Everybody get a fair shot.
Everybody gets a blank canvas. you know, recently I met somebody and blank canvas. Um,
And it really seems so promising.
I think
He
that,
was checking the boxes initially.
so let me tell you the second part that I didn't get to tell you. So
Okay.
he was checking the boxes, handsome, all of that, you know, reaching out, wanting to take me out. And I just kept, the times he was trying to take me out, we just couldn't get the times right. So, the last time, so after we were supposed to get together and I canceled on him because of the way the interaction was going. I mean, I don't play them type of game. I know, you know, all of that. Okay, if I tell you we're gonna meet at 6 and it's 8 o'clock and then you like, where we going? And I don't fool with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not a bitch about it either. But I just have a good night. So after that, I really just kind of put him off. So he reaches out to me and he was like, well, I just really want to have another chance. Can we, you know? So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. It's a Friday, maybe. I was like, well, okay, let's meet for like appetizers and drinks or something. Nothing too deep.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm nervous about where this is gonna go.
He said, okay, well, how about we do something like, why don't we go to the park and, you know, tell me your favorite bottle of wine. He was like, we can, you know, you drink some wine or whatever. He was
Okay.
like, and then first we can take a walk, you know, we get us some water. But I was like, it's getting ready to rain. It was like for the storm. Oh, it's not gonna rain, but it was like you wanted to do this at night.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, so it's night and you think I'm gonna go to a park with you. And you remember what I just got through talking to you about what they did previous time. I mean, I watch too much TV, my nigga. Like, I'm not
We ain't
gonna
gonna go on no walks in no park in the evening time, like new.
I said, okay, I'll get back with you. But then I also found out how young he was. Did I tell you how young he was?
No.
34.
That's too young for you? Cause hey girl, I have some friends, you know, they don't mind, like, you know, if he's mature, you know.
You know, that's getting close to what my oldest
daughter is.
And she runs a strict program over my life of the, because at some time I was at a certain time I kept always meeting younger guys, and she was just like, look, you dipping over, I'm starting to know some of these. Hey, I ain't know the, but that dude did not look 34 to me.
He didn't. I wouldn't have gave him 34.
I gave him 40.
Yeah.
And even when I saw him again, I was like, you look old. I didn't say that, but I'm like, you actually look old. And then, yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that I'm not even going to get into it. If it's some inconsistencies and stuff, I ain't finna do all that.
Yeah, no.
Now, I'm not going to be a bitch about it, but I'm also not getting ready to waste my time because I've already wasted. First of all, I already wasted one of my days. And if I put my makeup on and I can't put it back in the bottle, I'm pissed off.
Oh, that part.
Yeah. But, yeah, a lot of that strict program stuff, I feel like females are really capped. I feel like they need to sit down on the couch. I think they need some therapy. They think they need to think some things through. I do that with myself. I'm the product of daddy issues. They still come up. So I'm not going to, but I'm honest about it, you know. And real quick, right before that, my last situationship, we're going to call it that. I was really angry with him. He did some stuff, like I blocked him, you know, but then we ended up having a conversation. And even in that conversation, even though he had done some things I didn't like, he taught me some real valuable. He had this conversation with me and I was like, damn, I learned something. And I'm going to take that into the next situation.
What'd you learn?
One of the things that I do, and it's a defense mechanism, is I block you and I will erase you. My detaching skills are I can detach like no other. And, you know, he was just telling me how I hurt his feelings and that he considered me his best friend, which we really were good friends. You know what I mean? And he was like, I just felt like it wasn't anything we couldn't talk. Like, you didn't have to do it like that. And he taught me that that's something I do over and over. It's something I do to protect myself. You know what I mean? So I felt like, you know, he told me that. I can't remember everything we talked about, but I even apologized to him like a day or two later because I was like, dang, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. I'm too beautiful of a person to be that way. I could have handled it. Now, it still didn't. I mean, you still was, you know, for what you did. But, yeah, I could have handled it better. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, this is, truth be told, it's not going to just be women. I'm going to have men. We're going to have, like I said, that Truth About Crime segment. Yeah, I definitely, you know, there's a big prominent case here in Dallas. You know, everybody knows about it, the Mo3 case. I want to talk about, you know, it's going to be updates and
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
good.
definitely updates.
That's good.
Just because when you are involved in something where that person, I mean, it's kind of personal a little bit, not really, but it's a little personal. So I'm just really looking forward to being able to be a part of that conversation as well.
That's good. And you know, hey, you know me. When it happened, you know, we were all like trying to put two and two together. I think we were all trying to put two and two, being little Becky Olivers over here.
But you know what the truth is? They might need that. No, they don't need to ask us. But
No.
the truth is, we wasn't being Becky Olivers. We was being wise women. And it you know, if you're from Dallas,
Some people, and you know, like, do you ever, I mean, with you saying that, because really, honestly, Dallas is so divided over that whole situation. And not to, like, I encourage you to cover the case, because I think that's great. Like, we need that. But because of the fact that Dallas is so divided because of that case, like,
so
and the fact that you're not straying away from it.
you know, I'm not straying away from it because I feel like it's too many people that could be saying something that aren't. And the people that could be saying something that are not saying something are allowing the bloggers to narrate on their behalf. You know, it's a tragic situation, and how could I not cover it? You know, Yellow Beezy's daddy, I knew Yellow Beezy's daddy. We were all, man, he used to be a stripper. I shade a gigolo, Tony. But, you know, like, it's if you're from Dallas, you got connections to all sides. You know what I mean? I really want to talk about it because I ain't figured it out yet. I don't know what I believe and what I don't believe. Some
Okay.
days I believe this, some days I believe that. And it's just so much information being just being put out there by these bloggers that's trying to do this and do that. And I don't want to necessarily do that. But I do feel like the conversation needs to be had. I want some of my guests to weigh in on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want my audience to understand, to expect. I've been thinking a lot about these things, and my very first show is going to shake the tables, and I'm already ready. Listen, I don't mind being a villain. I'm in my villain era anyway.
Okay.
I don't mind being the villain. I don't mind saying what nobody else wants to say. I have already warned my children because my oldest daughter, they each have connections in the city doing what they do, right? So I've already expressed to them that this is what I'm doing. So, hey, this is what I'm talking about. Shake the table. Let's talk about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh,
I can't wait.
yeah. I mean, I literally, yeah. Then, oh well. Who gonna check me, boo? Nobody. But yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm excited. I can't wait to be, just be entertaining and, like I said, liberating. But entertaining, but liberating, but entertaining. I want people to get a piece of me, because you know how I cut up. I'm going to cut up the same. Same OG. And I'm older now, even than I was when I was doing Spice of Life. I was, no. Shit. Baby, menopause, what?
Right.
Ain't nothing. My kids is grown. So yeah, thank you so much for everybody who tuned in. I want you guys to make sure that you make sure to save and follow right now THA After Party on all platforms, because there's so many shows that are coming up. You guys have got to be tuned in. The hottest podcast in the city. Don't get it twisted. I'm really excited to bring you just everything that I'm going to bring you, but I want you guys to make sure you lock in. The podcast is called Truth Be Told with April Nicole, where soul meets story. I want to talk a little bit about, identity shifting. I want to talk a little bit about spirituality too, but I'm not going to go deep. I want to talk about practical things, everyday things, and I want to have some experts here, that can change people's lives. So yeah, that's it. That's who I
Well, thank you, April Nicole. I'm so happy to see you here at the after party. Y'all keep it like, when are you going to be doing your show? Like, when is it going to be airing officially?
So my show will be airing next week, and I'm not exactly sure because of,
what days? What day will you be on?
Thursdays.
Okay.
Yes, Thursdays. So I will be on Thursdays, and when that episode drop, like a mixtape drop, I want everybody in. I want everybody, all of the information will be there for y'all to, email me about what you think about the show. Get in the comments, talk your shit. I don't care. Whatever you got to say, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, I love it. You talking, baby. You talking. So.
Well, all right. Well, peace, and we out. Oh, where can they follow you, girl? Keep giving
Oh my God. So right now you guys can follow me. If you're on my IG, you can go to my Instagram page. It is Truth Be Told Podcast on IG. Also, you can follow me at the Real April Nicole, and my public relations page, which will soon be upgraded to you'll see. It's still Nicole Paradigm, NicoleParadigm. Okay. If you're on Facebook, all of the things April Nicole, the Real April Nicole, and Nicole Paradigm Media. All right. I was